Antonio Brown, who announced the trade on Twitter in a tweet that Michael Fabiano could not see. Wasn't a huge fan of AB's fantasy value in Buffalo, was promptly blocked by the wide receiver. Are you more optimistic about his value in Oakland?
Yeah, slightly more optimistic, but let's go through the pros and the cons, right? The pros are, this is a guy who has been, as you mentioned, one of the elite wide receivers in fantasy football over the last 5 years. And also, keep in mind, he is going to get peppered with targets. I mean, we're talking 150, 160-plus targets with the Oakland Raider. John Gruden is going to use him. Now, let's look at the negatives here, okay? He goes from the Steelers, who led the league in pass attempts last year, to the Raiders, who were tied for 16th. He's going from Ben Roethlisberger to Derek Carr. I love Derek. He hasn't gotten to Big Ben's Hall of Fame status just yet. No, by the way, this is also an issue. Touchdown regression, right? This is a guy who had 15 touchdowns last season. With all this being said, I still have him ranked 6th. So, AB, go ahead and unblock me, man. You're still a top 10 wide receiver. I dropped you down from 2 to 6. And look at JuJu Smith-Schuster there. He is now 8th. JuJu is a big winner. 168 targets now available in Pittsburgh with AB being gone. James Washington will suddenly become a big-time sleeper in fantasy leagues in the Steelers' high-octane offense, and they're going to throw the football a lot. So, big-time move up for JuJu. He's now a second-round pick. James Washington now clearly in the mix.
Let's talk running backs and the Carlos Hyde move. Kind of a non-factor toward the end of the year last year in fantasy with the Jaguars. Feels like he could get a boost from being in that Kansas City offense. Could also impact Damian Williams, that move, if you're an owner of him or you are thinking of being an owner of him. What do you think of that situation?
Yeah, Carlos was kind of Jekyll and Hyde last year. Good in Cleveland, not so good in Jacksonville. I think this is a good move for the value of Damian Williams, though. Why? Carlos Hyde has mostly been a one-dimensional running back. He's not going to catch the ball out of the backfield a lot. And look at what Damian Williams did at the end of last season. In the 5 games where he led the Chiefs' backfield in touches, he averaged almost 26 fantasy points per game. In fact, he helped Lindsay Rhodes beat me in our championship last season. And Williams is more of the prototypical running back that Mr. Andy Reid likes to use. Pass catcher. He is seeing a rise in his value.
NFL Media's senior fantasy analyst Michael Fabiano tracking all the free agency moves, and there are lots more to come at NFL.com/fantasy.